What is up, y'all? It's your boy Ben with the red beard, and I have some bad news. My computer decided it didn't want to work anymore before I could upload the last episode, and unfortunately we made a lot of progress in the last episode, so I'm recording on my old laptop, and no promises on how good this is going to go. Might explode in the middle of playing. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get through this. Probably going to be very limited editing capabilities afterwards. So we're going to try to do this video with as little mistakes as we can. And we're probably going to avoid the war zone because of the lack of editing and the uneasiness that I feel towards its ability to handle loading chunks like that and fighting without lagging. So it's going to be an island episode, but first we're going to have to go through all the updates we made in the last episode. And to start that off, we were in the war zone for a skydrop, and we actually found another golden arrow recipe, which if you saw one of the first few episodes, was somewhere in the 2 to 4 range. We found a golden arrow recipe before and sold it for $85 million. So that gave us a big jump start on progression. Last episode, we did the same thing. We actually found another golden arrow recipe, and this time I sold it for $95 million. So we were able to go ahead and upgrade our island level. So if we look at our island level now, we used that $95 million to buy level 15 and 16. So we are now able to place kelp and skeleton spawners on our island. So we made stuff for both of those. And we were also able to complete the challenges that we were kind of stuck on. So we started and we beat this one, the Open 16 Ancient Ruins. We started the episode opening the last 8 we needed. And then Aquatic Farmer, we were able to get 1,000 kelp, and I did build a kelp farm. And then Investor, unlock all Warzone islands and spawn warps. So we quickly bought, we only had 2 left to buy, and if you look at /Warzone, we had the Skybounds and the Frosty Fortress left, which I think, if I remember correctly, Skybounds was $5 million and Frosty Fortress was $10 million. So that was also from the $95 million we were able to do. Let's go back to our challenges, and now what we're stuck on is Dwarf Mode. Mine 300 gold, 200 diamond ore, and 100 emerald ore. Unfortunately, we don't have diamond ore or emerald ore unlocked yet, so we're stuck on this challenge again. We're not really very close to being able to do it, because if we do look at our mining, we did unlock gold in the last episode, so we're that far at least. But diamond requires level 65, we're only level 57, and emerald, unfortunately, requires mining level 75. So we still got quite a ways to go before we can even think about doing that challenge. But now for the updates we got, boom, we added our skeleton spawners to this one and added another... At least one. I don't remember when we added the second one, if that was in the last episode or the episode before. But now we're at 3 grinding robots. And if we look at what they're grinding, I'm not actually entirely sure. I don't remember. This one is doing skeletons and spiders, which I don't think it should be doing spiders. Skeleton and spiders. This one is doing, I believe, the animals, which we need to refill its swords. Nope, this one's doing zombies and foxes. So we got skeletons and spiders, zombies and foxes, and this one is doing the pigs and the sheep. And then cows and chickens are just dying to the magma cubes, because if we look at our grinder, we're so far ahead on those two, we aren't hitting the 40,000 value before we are hitting the sheep, so we're kind of stuck. Like every chicken you get, or not every single one, but as you kill more chickens, you're allowed to kill more cows, which is why that's up to 40,000. When you hit as you hit more of the cow values, you get more fox, but the 40,000 is kind of hard to get to in a day. So we are at 11, almost 12,000 foxes that we can kill. Sheep is where we were stuck before, so that's another thing we were able to do in the last episode. Not the last episode, the episode that is gone in forever. At least for now, it's gone forever. Hopefully, we can recover it, maybe grab some footage from it and look back. But I'm not holding out hope for that. The sheep, however, we have, I think now we're at 3 sheep spawners. It might only be 2 spawners. So now we're starting to kill them, but it's going to be hard to get to 7,000. But that's where we were stuck at. Spiders are still really, really low. We've actually almost already hit spiders for the day. But it's so low because we didn't have sheep spawners for so long. We couldn't hit that sheep level to increase the spider level. Same issue with zombies. Same issues with pigs. And then now skeletons. And we actually can kill turtles. We just can't put them the spawners on our island yet because our island level is not high enough. And then to kill Blaze, we need to be island level 7 or grinder level 75. So we're still a ways from that either. But this had a big update. I'd already reformatted it, so that's not new. We added more chests here because we were collecting stuff super fast, and then we built a little bit of a furnace system so that we could cook the stuff we were grabbing out of here. And then we added our quartz and bones to make nether bones automatic crafting. So we do have an auto chest collecting the bones from the mob system and making these automatically. So that is also added. This one is still unused. And then if we jump down here, this first one is the one we built just to get started. Right here, you just can come down here, you punch them, and then it all floats to the top, and you can grab it once it's floated. And then after we had built that and ended the episode, this episode was actually going to be the reveal for the beginning of our automatic kelp farm. So if you look here, you can see we got some observers and some pistons making that one. So if we go back up to our top, because we don't have fly yet, which hoping maybe by the end of this weekend we'll get it, maybe not, I'm not entirely sure. But if we jump down here, and we can jump over there and take a closer look. So we got, originally we just built it with the 2 observers at the very top here, 1 and 2. But it felt like it was taking too long, and I don't know, it just seemed like it for me. I don't think it's actually true at all. But it seemed like the edge ones were going really slow. So we also added these 2 ones down here just kind of to test, to see if having it right above the pistons would be more efficient or not. Haven't really come to a conclusion, but it does break a lot earlier. So if we did it this way, we could compact it more and build more levels. But for now, we just have the 1 level, and we'll work on other levels later on. So that is our kelp farm, and we wanted to get the kelp farm because if we look at our crafting recipes, we also unlocked the salad recipe, which we were waiting on kelp for. So now we can make that, because croutons are easy. Croutons are bread and coal. Carrots we get at spawn. Kelp we now have a farm. Beetroot we can also get at spawn, and they sell for a solid 2,850. So I have been collecting a bunch of kelp and making them as I've gone along. So we're going to finish off our batch we have here, grab the kelp down here, and then we're going to sell them off and see just how good of a profit those can make us, because it does seem like they can make us quite a bit. So I'm going to clear our inventory of the other stuff, these building blocks and these buckets, and then we will grab the ingredients for the salads out of here. Just going to grab a bunch of kelp, all our croutons, and then we actually don't have many carrots left, so that might be our limiting factor today. But if you give us a little sneak peek, we do have almost a full row of the salads, and yep, it is in fact the carrots that are the limiting factor. So now we have over a row, and just so we can use up the kelp, actually no, because we're out of croutons as well. So we're going to grab all of these salads. It's going to be 9 rows. Actually, first we're going to just sell 1. Just, you know, because I like seeing how much it is if you just have 1 stack. So we're going to sell hand. And that is going to net us almost 200,000. So now if we do a full row, we'll just leave those other 3 in the chest. A full row, if we type it right, is going to be 1.7 million. That's really nice. There's 4 rows. So that's going to get us, what is that, 34, 40, 51-ish million, I think, if I did that math right. So that is where we are there. We also have gotten more of these ore spawners. These are all gold. I think we had 6 of them. No, I think 5 of them. We've gotten more quartz, and we do have bricks. So this is collecting all of those things, as you can see there. And I just went through and sold a bunch of stuff, so it's not a whole lot, but we do have a lot of iron, and gold we're actually getting at a pretty decent rate. So I'm going to clear some of this iron out, not the gold, I'm going to leave that there. See if we have room for it in our potato farm, not much. So the excess, I'll just put back in the chest actually. It's not full right now either. And then the other thing we did as far as mining goes is if we come down here, just like it is with farming, mining, you can unlock more the same way. And we weren't mining any cobblestone at all, so you can see total I had mined just before this, I had mined 1445, And therefore, our coal was only at over 1,000, iron's just below 2,000, terracottas at 4,000. That's where it started, though. Same thing with brick, under 3, quartz, almost 5, which is surprising, and gold, only 1. So now that we have an automatic cobble farm, it's very slow, so it's not going to be a quick process right now. I don't really have the money to upgrade this mining robot, and I don't want to use a diamond pick on him for now. But once we start mining cobblestone, we'll unlock more coal, then we'll unlock more iron, terracotta, brick, yada, 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 etc., etc., etc. You get the deal. It's the same thing with farming. So now that we have this going, we should be able to start getting more iron, more quartz, and more of the more valuable resources slowly at first, just because if we look at this guy and we check out his upgrades, he's only doing it every 5 blocks, every 60 seconds, which isn't fast because cobblestone, it responds immediately. It's not an ore seed, it's a cobblestone farm. So since it responds almost immediately, this could be at 1 second. And that would be the most efficient. But if you look, yeah, see, it's already cleared out. And we only have 5 blocks. We'll bump that up so it can get the whole thing. And then distance is only 3. So it can reach both ends. And now it actually can get all but the one he's standing on, which he can mine the one he's standing on. But now he can do 6. So that's going to be a slow process to increase our mining abilities of the higher, more valuable gems, stones, ores, resources, whatever they're called, ores. So that's why we went ahead and did that. And that should be all of the updates we have left. The next thing we were going to actually do this episode was we were going to look at the farming robot and run some tests. So I built this so we could examine it together. We wanted to see if it said, because this one I think he can mine 3 blocks. So if you look at our upgrade, he has a distance of 4 blocks. So we were trying to figure out where that started from. Does it start from his waist, where the level, not the level he's on, but the level where his legs are? We wanted to see if that was 1, below him was 2, 3, 4, and then his head was this. So if it started at his waist, if it started at his head, he can go 4 above, but only 2 below. Or if it started at his feet, he can go 4 down, but 2 up. You get the point. So we wanted to see what his limitations were, and it actually looks like it starts at his. I'm not sure, because this is the 4th block down, and he's placing it on the 4th block down here from his feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where we can. That's that limitation. So 4 blocks below his feet is the one he's going to place it on top of. And then if you look above his head, it's actually the same deal. We got 1, 2, 3. No, so he's actually only placing it 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's placing it on the 4th block. Oh, sorry, I'm confusing myself. 1, 2, 3. So he's actually only placing it on the 3rd block above his head, because if we look up here, he didn't plant anything on this one. So he looks like from the top of his head, he can go 3 up. From the bottom of his feet, he can go 3 down too. So if we wanted to make a farm, like in a box, which is kind of what I want to do, so we can start auto-harvesting some of the things we use in our crafting robots, then it looks like we can have 1 row, empty space, 2 row, empty space, 3 rows is going to be that one right there, empty space, 4 rows, empty space, 5 rows. So we can actually have 5 rows of plants with this farming robot if I'm looking at it correctly. Because if we do it, this one will be an empty space. So we have crops on this one, empty space, crops on this one, 2 empty space, crops on this one, 3 empty space, crops on this one, 4 empty space, crops on this one, 5. So with them only at a distance of 4, we can have 5 levels of crops going out 4 things, which would actually be about right, because then we could just put the water in the middle spot, and it'll get all 4. So maybe we don't want to upgrade him further than 4 blocks, which if we did, it's going to end up costing us 2 million, which really isn't too bad. So if we did 5 rows of 4, that's going to leave in, let's see, 9 by 9 is, why is my brain not working? 9 times 9 is 81, times 5 is going to be 405. So that's, how many stacks is 405? 64, 12, it's like 5 stacks, I think, if I'm doing the math right. But this is why we have a phone. So if we pull the calculator, we can see that if we do it a 9 by 9, which we know is 81, and then that times 5 is 405, and that divided by 64 is 6 stacks. We can get over 6 stacks with a 5 level 4, with a 4 distance farmer. So I think that's, I'll probably start building the basis of that between episodes. I don't think it's going to be something you want to watch me build entirely, because it's going to be placing a lot of dirt, hoeing a lot of dirt, placing water. But we'll get to the, I'll show you the more technical parts in the next episode. So that's going to be huge for us, because then we can actually get potatoes going automatically, which we need to install a better furnace system onto this miner. But we get so much iron that if we can automate the iron sections, which we're working on already, and if we can automate the potato section, we'll get a lot of these, because a full row of mashed potatoes will sell for, I think it's over $1 million, which is pretty good. So let's grab this and we'll sell hand just to check it out. No, it's not. It's $500,000. But still. So you get a full inventory of that, it's $2 million. And if you're doing that automatically with no work at all, both grow and are mined fast, so the slowest part is going to be the cooking. The other option would be to make a farm for carrots, and a farm for beetroot, and a farm for wheat, and use that to automatically make the salad. Unfortunately, that'd be a little tougher, because you'd have to have one crafting robot that would make the wheat into bread, and then another one that would make the bread and coal into the croutons, and then you'd have to craft the crafting recipe, take them on from 4 hoppers, so that you could have one for the beetroot, one for the carrots, one for the kelp, and one for the croutons, which is going to be very, very costly. Because if you look at the upgrades, to get an additional hoppers too, so maybe it wouldn't be that expensive, but it would require 3 crafting robots, or us to manually craft the wheat and or the croutons. So that one we got to decide. That one sells for a lot more than the mashed potatoes, because again, if we look at our crafting, the salad sells for $2,850 and mashed potatoes only sells for $725. But it's a lot less resource intensive to make a mashed potatoes crafting recipe. Ideally, the next one we would actually want to make would be this chocolate bar, cocoa beans and sugar, because we already can automate the sugar cane in the exact same way we did our kelp farm down there. You just don't need the water. And we know for a fact how tall sugar cane grows. So that one we can compact and just do it on the other side. That's kind of the goal of this platform, is to have the kelp farm on this side right here, and then it's going to be 2 blocks in the middle, and have the sugar cane on this side. That's the ultimate goal of this platform. I just haven't built the sugar cane farm yet. So that is going to be, if we can get a cocoa bean recipe, which I haven't seen one on the AH in ever, and they're very expensive when they do come across. So that's just going to take getting lucky in the war zone and finding a cocoa bean book instead of the golden arrow recipe. Or we can hold out until we get scoots, because, well, the other problem with that one is silk. You're going to need a crafting recipe or robot to create that one too. So that last crafting robot spot is going to be a little more tricky to figure out which one we want to do. The easiest, well, that one we can already upgrade, but we have that last spot, so minced beef would be an easy one to install. In the meantime, we get a lot of steak from the mob farm, and once we hit the iron total for the day, we get a lot of coal from this one. But right now, this guy's not upgraded enough where he can be mining iron and coal at the same time. We just have too many iron down. So that's where we're at in our crafting and our money making abilities right now. More skeleton spawners and more sheep spawners would be awesome to find, but again, that's going to take getting lucky in the war zone. So those are where we're at on our updates for this episode and what we missed. I know we didn't really we haven't really done anything in this episode yet other than take a tour of the island. But you know what? An episode here and there just for a nice update of where our progress is at isn't so bad. I'm guessing this is going to be a lot shorter of an episode than some of the other ones I've posted. Unfortunately, the last one we made, I was super hyped. So that episode was like 30 minutes. It was a longer one just because I was so excited to film it. But I'm a little worried about my editing ability. So with the computer problems, I think this one is going to stick to being a short episode. Maybe if there was just a Skydrops posted, maybe we'll go test the Warzone or do. They said, oh, so one thing is there was an update. It's Friday. Update Friday is the update. Try to update every Friday. So there's a couple new things. One of the new things they have is the new crafting recipe, which is this one, Royal Pumpkins, which we have a high enough level for. We would just need the recipe. And it sells for 21,000. So that's kind of huge. They also have a new prefix called Royal, that there's a secret quest. I don't know what the quest is. I haven't heard. I haven't been on today to see if there's any talk of it in the comments section. But the last thing they did, the other big thing they did was they buffed the parkour rewards. So if we go to spawn, just since we don't want to really risk the war zone, I'm actually going to turn down our render distance as well, just to be safe. But if we go to the spawn parkour, we can grab the spawn parkour chest and check out how much that has increased. Because you're actually allowed to do all of the parkours, which there is 5 of them. There's 4 in the Warzone and the spawn parkour. You're allowed to do them once a day for the chests. But only once, because otherwise it'd be kind of not cheaty, but it'd be easy to just stack up that loot, because the spawn one's pretty simple. It's not hard. The farm one's not too hard either. And then the cloud parkour I was able to beat yesterday. I actually beat it twice. That was part of our next challenge. That one was not easy, but it was not anywhere near as hard as the waterfall. And the cave parkour, of course, is not too bad either. So the hardest one being the waterfall, I have yet to beat it. I've beaten all of the other ones a couple more times just for the chests, but I didn't beat the waterfall one. I tried for a few hours one night and could not get it. I couldn't get to checkpoint. I think I got to the 3rd checkpoint once, and I have not even been able to get back to the 3rd checkpoint since I did it that first day. Now I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Let's take it a little easier here. Get to this next one. Once you get past this section, at that jump right there, I think is probably the hardest one on this parkour. And then once we get to the top of this, it's not too bad. So let's do this real quickly. This part's not too fast. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and then we do something like that, and we forget to press the space bar. So now you're seeing my parkour skills in all of their glory. I don't think I'm going to edit this out since I've just been talking through it anyway. But every now and then I have to stop talking to focus or I will fall. So we're going to take this one with a little bit more concentration when we press shift too quickly. Unfortunately, after I talked about this one being pretty easy, we're not proving it. We were already at a minute and a half. I think I did it one of the time. I think I did it flawless one time. May have had one drop early on just because I misclicked. But a minute. Oh, we're doing this in over. I don't even know what it is. Minute 30 is probably even really slow. Just doing this. I don't want to get all the way to the top and then screw it up. This part trips me out. I don't know why, but doing parkour downward is always like tricky to me. I misjudge how far you have to go, and I stop jumping soon because I think I'm going to overshoot it. So let's just get through this. This is the last section of it. And then we will open the rewards and check out to see how much better we got of stuff we get, if it's noticeable at all. So that is it finished, and now if we go to our island, and then we check our mailbox, and grab the chest out of there and open it up down on our platform. Let's see how much better it is, and that I think is how we're going to end the episode, with a little bit of a reward. Again, I'm sorry this episode's probably going to end up being a little bit shorter than some of the other episodes we've posted, but we, I think, are on a good track. After doing all of this, we got a plan ahead of us. We're going to build more levels on the kelp farm, build an automatic sugarcane farm down on that same platform, continue to AFK our mob farm and our mining farm and our crafting robots, which will be big. And then we're also going to build at least, I think, an automatic potato farm, if not a couple automatic farms for the other vegetables. We'll have to decide on those. But I think definitely a potato, since we already have that other crafting robot set up. But apart from that, I think that is where we're at. That's where we're at in life. I still kind of want to clear out these islands. The only problem with doing that is if we jump down here. Can I get down there? Let's find out. We still have so much diamond, and there's some emeralds down here as well, so we can't clear that out. But now that we have gold, I'll probably go through and clear this. Definitely clear this whole island out except for that diamond, and that emerald. And then probably start working on clearing this island out too. And then at some point I still want to have a building episode where we make kind of a house out of our spawn point. So that's something to look forward to in the future. I have no idea when I'll get around to doing that, but it's something I do want to undertake. So let's open this up and see if we get anything good now. There's some quartz in there, some spawners. That would be nice. Well, let's see. Hopefully that's a skeleton spawner, or what do we get? A garbage repair scroll. Bleh. 19% for stone. Bleh. Spider, okay, I'll take it. It's whatever. It's not great. And then spawner. So that was pretty... Well, it's pretty worthless, to be quite honest with you. The spider one's decent, but it doesn't do a whole lot for us now because, the other big update was that the fur hat recipe does not take silk anymore. Sheep now drop a resource wool, which is different than the white wool that it was dropping before, and that is what you use to make the fur hats. And you still use the fox pelt, but the recipe is now 4 and 4. So the silk, as far as I can tell, from the recipes that I have, it doesn't do anything. You can just sell it for 850, which is a decent price, but that's dependent on getting string. So it will come in handy when we get to gumballs, when we have a turtle spawner. But for now, it's kind of worthless to us. So I am going to save it. I'm not going to sell it off because we can use it for the recipes later on. But for now, we have to collect wool, so we're kind of back to ground zero on that one. But now that takes... Actually, hold up, wait a minute. Now that takes wool and foxpelt, which both come from the mob farm, that's probably what we'll use this crafting robot for temporarily. Although we don't have... That only works, unfortunately. I think we only have one auto chest left, unless we only have one auto chest left. So unless we get rid of an auto chest somewhere else, that only helps us... But that doesn't really help us too much, because I think we get, unless we get fox pelts and wool at the same rate, which I think we get fox pelts way faster at this point because we don't have enough wool spawners, with only one, man, darn, with only one auto chest, that's not going to work because it's going to get jammed by the fox pelts. The fox pelts are going to fill up way faster, and then they're going to jam the hopper up so that this crafting robot is only collecting the fox pelts and not the wool. We need a second auto chest for that to work. But if we can find a second auto chest, then absolutely. I think that's probably going to be the way to go for now, because fur hats sell for over 2,000. So that's a really, really nice profit if we can get that working. But like I said, it's going to take a second auto chest. So now we took a step back, we evaluated where we were at, and we thought of some solid plans to advance going forward. So I think that is where we're going to call this an episode, just a nice update tour episode, just so we can evaluate and see where we're at and where we need to go. So thank you all for watching. If you stuck around to the end, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see more of the Skybounds series, turn on that notification bell once you subscribe so you can see when you're posted. If you have anyone that you know that you think might enjoy this type of content and the stuff I'm putting out, then please share it with them. I know we're going to grow, but I'm not going to do it alone. It's going to take you guys as well. So let's build this together. But apart from that, you all take care.